Welcome to Hooks Outdoors. Tonight, we're coming to you from our kitchen while there's a storm going on outside. I'm to do this video, and it's a great time while there's an ice storm going on, and I'm gathering up our supplies just to remind you about some of the supplies you should have on hand for a 72-hour emergency. Now, the storm we have going on outside is freezing ice rain. It's freezing rain into ice. Power lines, I'm sure, are going to go down tonight. If the power lines don't, there's going to be all kinds of tree branches, possibly full trees, large branches. There will be a lot of damage. And it may go on power lines, and who knows what else. So for those of you that are in an apartment or something like that, I really want you to pay close attention. If you're living in the rural zone, pay close attention. We all need to pay attention. So let's get started, shall we? First thing, if the power goes out, you're going to want some light. Make sure you've got a good array of flashlights to choose from all throughout the house, okay? These little key light ones are great for everybody to have. You don't necessarily need something this big, but that's nice as well. If they're rechargeable, please make sure you charge them before the storm hits. That's why I'm still a big fan of good old-fashioned battery-powered flashlights. You got plenty of batteries for backup, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about it. Now, if it's out for days, I got a few of these. They're just little solar lights, and I can charge them, and it just gives you a nice, easy light, okay? So, I think a nice thing in the kitchen area and in the living room area would be a lantern of some sort. This is a very small battery-powered one. Hey, if you're campers like we are, you'll have possibly a big 1200 lumen. You can use that. Play games, pass the time, okay? I want to move on to some more lighting now. Now, I like candle lanterns. And I'm going to tell you what I really like about a candle lantern is exactly what I'm leaning on here, is heat. The candle will give off a small amount of heat, just enough you can warm your hands. Now, you could have a store-bought lantern like this, which is a UCO, or you could make your own simple lantern like this with a T lantern in it. And I got this idea from a video a few weeks ago from James Bender at Waypoint Survival. Go check him out on YouTube. He's got great videos. That's Waypoint Survival. I'll have a link in the description. You might just have some simple candles. That's all it takes. Or I took this old Altoid tin and I filled it up with some old wax, cotton string for a homemade wick, and made a simple double wick candle. How's that? Here's some other light sources to think about. Do you have kids around the house? What kids don't enjoy a light stick? You give them something fun. They won't be scared of the dark. They won't have that bad boogeyman to think about. And you know what? I like them too. I'm just as big a kid as my kids are. Put the string on it for them and everything. You can hang it up in a room, hang it from the ceiling fan chain, find a place to hang it, and then if you get them the smaller ones, like the little bracelets like these, you can put it on them and you won't lose them in the dark, Mom and Dad. How's that for thinking? These were really inexpensive ones at the Dollar Tree. I highly recommend you go onto a military surplus site and get you some chem lights that'll last 12 hours. Make sure you have some form of battery-powered entertainment. This is just an AM/FM radio. Just like when I was a kid growing up, it's got the pull antenna. You got to actually dial tune it. Have a good time showing the kids this one, Mom and Dad, okay? And I also have a weather radio. This one has a crank. If the batteries run out, I can power it that way. It's got a light, and like I said, it's got the weather band. So let's talk about your cell phones. Keep a power bank or two on hand. Now, believe it or not, this small Amtom, I've been rocking this thing out for over a year and a half. This is now one of my all must-have take when I go camping. I can actually run my CPAP off of this. I keep this charged. I can get 2 nights out of it when it's warm out. If the unit gets cold, I barely get a night. But I can use this to run my CPAP. I'm hoping this summer we're going to get a bigger unit to have around the house so I can run longer hours, longer nights, and even some more stuff around the house. But this as well has a built-in light, okay? And you can charge your phone off of it, run another small light, USB, or charge those others off of. This is just a good old-fashioned bank. Can't beat it. This one also has a solar on it, so you can recharge it, but be careful to count on the solar. Like right now in the month of January, not a lot of direct sun. It takes over 8 hours to recharge this. 100-watt unit, same way for this. Let's talk about you getting cold. You should have some form of a backup heat. Now this isn't going to do the whole house. You're going to have to be cuddled, small room, blanket the doorways off, everybody be blanketed and stay together. Run it for a little while. Make sure you have extra fuel for it. Have extra propane canisters that go in the side, or the hose to run it off a larger 20-pound barbecue tank. Need something for heat. Apartment dwellers, this is where this comes in real handy for you. I'm sure a bedroom, one of the small bedrooms, you could heat very comfortably with this unit, okay, for several hours. But make sure you have a portable CO2 unit with you. Always be safe. Always. If you have an electric stove and you're in that apartment, you're going to need or want a way to heat your suppers and your meals. It's good to have a small Sterno camping stove or some other form. This one I just got for Christmas. I don't have the fuel for it yet, but you can bet I will. But I have plenty of other means out in the garage because we do camp so much that we can cook. Okay? But we also have a gas stove range, so we'll be all right. And last but not least, let's talk a little bit about food and water. Make sure you've got plenty of water. You need to have drinkable water, but you also may want to make sure you have plenty of gallons. Yes, gallons. If you live in a rural area and you run off a well, you know what I'm talking about. When the power goes out, your well's done. You got to have power to run the pump. So you're not going to have water. You're going to want to flush the stool from time to time. It's going to be awful chilly outside. Okay? So have backups of gallons of water. Have plenty of drinkable water. Now, most of us are going to have 72 hours worth of food in our pantries. It may not be eating steak and eggs every day, but there's something in there to keep you alive. And most emergencies anymore, within 72 hours, they have you power. Now, if you're fortunate enough you have a big generator, make sure you got plenty of fuel to run that generator. If you're lucky enough to have a kerosene heater that you can heat the whole house and keep those pipes from freezing if it's that deathly cold, make sure you have the kerosene on hand. Just some basic, simple tips that Hook wants you to remember. I want you to be safe. Hey, leave me some comments below. This is just a small selection. But I want you to be prepared for what might come your way. Because we love the outdoors, Mother Nature can still throw us a curveball and be a little mean at us. So please, click like, share this video, subscribe to my old subscribers. Thank you for being here. My new subscribers, Hey, thanks for joining us. Check out the old playlists if you haven't already. Give me some ideas on some more videos that you'd like to see me shoot. And you know what I'm going to tell you? Take a kid outdoors this week. Thanks for watching.